Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Renew Show, where we hope to give you real knowledge for your journey. I'm Khaleef Crumbly, Fat Guy Skinny Wallet, and I also have co-host with me, Julie.
Hey.
That's Julie Wilson. You'll get to learn more about her in a few minutes. And we also have Rob Reno.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
So we first just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all of your support. And I just want to tell you a little bit about my vision for Renew and then go from there. So my main reason for wanting to start a weight loss and health talk show is because I noticed all of the different methods that people had for trying to lose weight, the different goals that people had, and the different extremes that some people would go to. So, for instance, you have some people who would only run, and they would still eat whatever they want. You have some people who eat 500 calories a day and get injected with certain hormones and never get off the couch to exercise. So you have the huge extremes going from one to the other, and I thought it would be so great if someone who never gets off the couch can hear the perspective of someone who loves to work out and loves to exercise. And it would be great if someone who completely cut out carbs in their diet got to hear the perspective of someone who eats 250 grams of carbs a day and is still successful in losing weight. So I wanted to be able to bring everybody from the community together, people who have had surgery, people who decided not to have surgery, people who are just trying to lose 20 or 30 pounds and get in better shape, to people who want to lose 400 and 500 pounds. I figured that we can all learn from each other, and all of our journeys could be enriched by hearing the perspective of different people. So we hope to accomplish that. We hope that you will be able to learn a lot from not just us, but also from all the guests that we will have on, all of the audience, you guys interacting with us, that it will be a learning experience for all of us. And we will be able to dispel different myths. We will be able to take a piece from each person's journey and to make our journeys more full, more complete, more successful, and we'll be able to become stronger versions of ourselves and more healthier. And I think that's everyone's goal in the end. So my specific reasons for choosing these co-hosts, or at least asking them to join, I mean, I could just say it was a no-brainer, and that's it, because I've done videos talking about how great they both are. But for those of you who know Rob Reno, you know that he is a great supporter. You know that he is a great motivator, and he is committed to not only changing his body, but changing his mind, and understands that actually the mental aspect of weight loss is far more important than what you do physically. He has a great way of connecting with people. He has a great memory. You know, that's one of the first things I noticed is I'll comment on his video and talk about all the great things I saw in his video, and he'll just say thanks, and then he'll ask me a question about something I did in the video 2 weeks ago, looking for an update. So, you know, that's the type of person that Rob is. He's very caring, very giving, very supportive. And I knew that he would have a lot to offer, and he would be a great person to try to take different pieces of everyone's journey and bring them together and try to act as a glue, if you will, to you know, just grab different parts of the weight loss community into one cohesive unit. So, and most of you guys know that already. For Julie Wilson, again, I've talked about her in multiple videos. She forces me to take pictures of everything I eat, and you know, has been a true source of inspiration, not just for me, but for a lot of people. I love going to her videos, seeing the comments, and seeing how many people say they were inspired to run, how many mothers say they were inspired to try to take control of their health, you know, just how many people she is able to touch. She is also a huge supporter of many people. She is very articulate. She's a great communicator. In fact, she writes for my website, and she does an amazing job with that. So I knew that she would be perfect, again, for reaching different types of people even people who she has very little in common with, reaching out to them, really touching their hearts and really motivating them. So those are my reasons for asking, and I would just say that Julie Wilson, Rob Reno were my first choice, and honestly, they were, I would say, my only choices. I was really just praying that they would both say yes, and if either one of them said no, I don't know what I would have done. I don't know where I would have gone, because they were so perfect for this show and for this type of venue that I just had to ask them to. And I'll be honest that even when I was thinking it, I said to my wife, well, I'm not sure the exact number of hosts that I want to have, and just playing around with the format. And she said, well, you really should just ask Rob and Julie to do it. I mean, this is my wife, who she'll come on in some videos and watch and everything, but she's not a part of the weight loss community the way that I am. And she knew who the obvious choices were. So I'm going to now turn it over to first Julie, and then after Julie, Rob, and they're going to explain their visions for the show, and they're going to talk about why they accepted. So first, we'll have Julie Wilson.
Thank you, Khaleef. I got teary-eyed there. I did not want to cry on the first show, but thank you for all those nice things that you said. I feel very blessed to have the opportunity to reach these people in the community through Renew. And my hope for the show is that it will bring our community closer together. We tend to think that the people in our feed is the community, but there is so many circles of weight loss people out there doing all different things, and my vision is to get these circles connected into one circle and to support each other no matter how we are losing the weight, but to support each other along the journey. And just my hope, I love them where they are and embrace them where they are and support them where they are. And I think Renew is a place where that can happen. I want to learn more about my own journey and parts of other journeys that from other people, and how others are affected on their journeys. Because by learning more about that, I feel like I can support more people. And in the beginning, and being completely honest, the journey was about me. It was about myself. I came here to do YouTube videos. I'm going to help myself. It's going to hold me accountable. I'm going to come here, and it's about me. But now, as I get closer to my goal, my desire has totally changed. I mean, of course it's about me, but I'm at a place now where it's more about supporting others and encouraging others and making other people believe that they can get to the same place that I'm at and feel so great about yourself. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. And that's the message that I want to get to people. I hope to represent all of you that are out there watching. I hope to represent you well. My voice will be that of someone who is busy with a family, someone who isn't financially well off and can't even afford a gym membership, or a lot of healthy food. There's certain foods that I don't eat because I can't afford it. I'm a person who struggled with being overweight since I was in elementary school. I've spent thousands of dollars trying to lose weight throughout many years. I'm your simple, easygoing girl next door. I have a heart for people, and I have a hard time putting myself first. But I'm learning to balance it, and I'm doing it. I promise to give you all 100% the real jewels, and I'm looking forward to what lies ahead for Renew and the impact that it will have on many people. Thank you. So, Robbie, your turn.
Yes. I want to thank Khaleef for this wonderful opportunity to be a part of this amazing show. When he first asked me about doing the show, it was an email. I was excited, and I thought I had accepted, and honestly, I didn't. I had forgotten until late the next day that I had never said that I would do the show. So I was glad I looked at that email again and saw that I hadn't replied. So, Khaleef, thank you so much for this opportunity to be a part even more of this community, and I'm really excited about it. I do want to say that as we're going through this, I do see there's a lot of people starting to leave comments that's checked in and stuff. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning into the show. That is awesome. I see a lot of people are starting to leave comments saying they're here, and that really does mean a lot to us, and that support. My main vision for Renew, of course, is for people to have a voice and to let their voice be heard. I think for so many years, so many of us, maybe not all of us, have been in a position where we didn't speak out because we felt like what we had to say didn't have value, didn't matter, or people wouldn't accept it because, and when I say these words, I don't mean them to be offending to anybody, because we were fat, we were overweight, whatever term you want to use. That's keeping it real for me, using those terms. I never like to address myself with those words in those ways, but some people, believe it or not, a lot of people do address people that are overweight that way. So for me, the main thing is making sure everybody that wants to has a voice. Appearing on the show is a great way. Sending comments in and questions as the show is going is another way that's going to be absolutely amazing. This is about giving back to this community that has gave me so much since I joined on April 23rd of 2012. I want to learn from others. I want to be motivated, encourage, and support and energize others, and I want them to do that for me, because that's what keeps me going on a day-to-day basis. My longest weight loss ever doing it on my own without a program was probably about 3 weeks. I'm 43 weeks in, so I've beat that by 40 weeks, and there's no looking back at this point. And a lot of that is because of everybody out in this community that really is there for you when you need it. I want to make sure that I share my journey with everyone because I'm proud of it, and I want to be a part of their journey in commenting, talking to, in all the ways that we can communicate with each other in this wonderful community that so many of us look at it as a family. So that's my vision. My thanks to Khaleef for asking me to be on the show, and why I accepted the position as a co-host on this show, because I think it's going to be absolutely remarkable, and I think it's going to be nothing but helpful for people, and anytime you can allow someone's voice to be heard, that is truly amazing. Thank you.
Well, thank you again, both to Julie and Rob, for accepting and being a part of this. And now what we wanted to do is share a little bit about ourselves, a certain aspect of either our weight loss journey or how we got to the position of needing to lose weight in the first place. So as you hear, try to leave feedback, leave questions if you have any, and hopefully we'll get them answered. But I'm going to go first, and one of the things that I realized is that I never shared my past on my channel. I've actually had a website for 2 years, a blog where I talk about trying to lose weight, and I never share my past on there either. So I guess here, everybody who tuned in, you'll get to hear what nobody else has heard. So my childhood, I had a pretty normal childhood. I had both parents in the home. We didn't grow up dirt poor. Depending on who you talk to, they'll say, hey, I grew up in the hood, I grew up in the ghetto, or whatever. Yeah, I guess I did. But it still, was a normal childhood. I was very athletic. I was into sports. I wasn't one of these kids, I guess, I'm talking now 30 years ago, I wasn't one of these kids who had video games and was in the house. Most of the time, I was outside playing something. I was playing football. We would play tackle out on the asphalt. We would just have fun, normal kids. I was always stocky, so I never was a skinny, even as a kid, even going into high school. I never was skinny or anything. I was always a stocky kid, but, never overly fat where I can walk for 2 minutes and start breathing hard. I was in pretty good shape. And I always played sports. I played, usually baseball, basketball, and football. So year-round, I was playing some type of sport as a kid. And then even for fun, we would do it. Going into high school, I played baseball and football, and the same story applies. I was, fairly athletic, and part of, the teams there. One of the things that I do remember is that I was extremely lazy. I loved to have fun, but I was lazy. So, perfect example. I could play a game of football for like 4 or 5 hours, and we could just run up and down the field and wouldn't even pay attention to what we're doing. And then we would go out eat, and then go it was the pile where we were at. We would go to the pile and then play basketball for 2 hours, and it was no problem. But if you told me to practice, or if you told me to just run just for the sake of running, like it was part of getting in shape, I couldn't do it. I was one of those kids in gym where it's like, look, you're going to fail me if you ask me to run. You ask me to do some push-ups or something where I can compete with someone, fine. But if you just say run, or if I'm just practicing and doing the same drill over and over, I was so lazy. I would spend, and this is like through high school, I would spend like 5 minutes trying to figure out how to shave a minute off of a 3-minute project if it involved me moving. I was just that lazy. But it wasn't until after high school, after the sports, where I started to gain weight. I got a job after I graduated high school at Boston Market, working the late shift, so I would actually be one of the ones closing the store. So, if you ever worked in a fast food restaurant at night, you know that you can't leave most of the food to the next day. So whatever food that was already prepared and put out, it didn't get sold, and came home with me. And they had these chocolate brownies and these cookies. I would bring them home. I'm telling you, my mother is supposed to be watching. If she's watching, she's probably laughing, because she's caught me many nights sitting at home eating those brownies and everything. But anyway, that's really where it started. I think I gained about 20 pounds that summer, 3 months. So by the time I started college, I was 20 pounds heavier than I was in the end of June. My life can really be boiled down to 6 or 7 periods after high school where I gained at least 20, maybe 25 pounds in a 4 to 6 week period. So I wasn't someone who steadily gained weight. I wasn't someone who had a crisis happen and then gain a bunch of weight. It was just I would go through these binging periods where I would really lose control for weeks at a time. It wasn't one of these things where 1 or 2 days and then I just snap, out of it. I'm talking about weeks of just eating what I want when I want it. I would estimate that on the heavier days, I ate between 15 and 20,000 calories. I would say on average during those times, I would eat probably between 5 and 10,000 calories a day. That was the average. And that was because I would sleep more on some days than others, or I wouldn't be home. I would go to this place, and this is what I think could just sum up everything about myself as an adult. When I went through these binging periods, I would usually get food from 2 places. One was called The Spot, and I just actually wrote down what my typical order was. Now listen to what I would get. Double cheeseburger, no middle bread. In fact, when I walked in, that was my name. The guys knew me, and I would walk in and say, "Hey, double cheeseburger, no middle bread, how are you?" Like that was just how you knew me when I walked in there. So double cheeseburger, no middle bread. A cheesesteak with double meat and double cheese. Really, double meat and double cheese. I would get 2 pizza rolls. I would get an order of popcorn chicken. I would get a large container of ice cream. I would get 2 sweet potato pies. They had the single ones. I would get 2 green pies. And I would get between 2 and 4 cans of CNC pineapple soda. Now, I think CNC is only something that we have in New Jersey, but this is like the best soda. Man, I'm telling you. Sorry, I'm getting little flashbacks there. But so I would do that. And I actually knew the number. It's a Chicken Shack. I knew the number by heart. That's how bad it was for me. Then I would go around the corner to the pizzeria, and I would get a large pie with extra cheese and then 2 beef patties with cheese. And it wasn't just normal beef patties with cheese. Now, they would split them open, get a handful of mozzarella, put it on both sides of the beef patty, and then try to close it after they melted in the oven. Come on. And now you see why I said that I would easily have up to 20,000 calories in a day. I would really eat like that. And after a couple of weeks of eating like that, maybe a day or two eating like that, then I would have a day where I would probably eat 5 to 10,000 calories, and then another day where I would eat the 20, and I would go back and forth. And after a few days, I would be 20, 25 pounds heavier. Excuse me, after a few weeks. And I wouldn't even realize it. I wouldn't even think about what I was doing. And you have to remember that my life was so busy at that time. I was a musician, and I was a minister. So when I wasn't working, I was either playing at a church, I was playing for some event, playing for some group somewhere at a concert. This is my life 5 to 6 days a week. And if I wasn't doing that, I was preaching in someone's church. So this is all that I did, and then I would eat this garbage. And then I started going to school, and that made it worse because I would only get 2 hours of sleep. I would only realize it when my clothes would change. That's the only time. That's the only way I would know, hey, you've gone too far and you need to calm down, was because I couldn't afford to buy bigger sizes in clothes. So it was, all right, this is getting a little tight. I guess I need to calm down on the orders from the Chicken Shack and the pizza for a while. And that would be it. And after I got married, and I won't talk about all that stuff. I'll maybe save that for one of the future shows, some of the things that I used to do. But I would just say that I had plenty of times where I tried to start to get healthy, and then I would stop after a couple of weeks. Like Rob said, my longest would probably be 3 weeks. Maybe I got to a month, but that would be it. And then I would fall off again with my motivation. And I know that there were many times when my wife was motivated. She would go out and work out, and I would just be in a room doing nothing, or I would just do busy work so she wouldn't drag me to go work out. And I would whine and complain if she tried to make me eat anything healthy. So it took a lot to get to this point about 15 months ago where I actually wanted to change my life. So, yeah, I'm just amazed at when I think back of what I did to myself during that period. But so when people talk about, you know, being addicted to food or these periods of binging, I know all about it because I used to do it and it was my life, and I saw it as like it was normal. So at the risk of taking up too much time going into that, I'll leave you with my orders from the spot and my pizza. And
you left everyone hungry.
really?
Just a photo girl Jenny and crazy running mom Brooke and your wife, they're hungry now.
Well, I will say the spot had the best cheeseburger I've ever tasted in my life, and Bruno's still has the best pizza I've ever had, and I've been to Chicago, and so this is the best ever. Just letting you know, I ate great tasting food to get this fat.
All right.
So if there are no, I don't know if you guys have any questions because I didn't click the look and see, or if I just made everybody hungry and you just focus on the food or not.
I didn't see any questions, but I did see that like Damien Ferrari, who lives in the United Kingdom, said that he loves loving the insight of how you lived your life and that kind of a thing, and he's appreciating that you shared that. That's what I'm seeing registering in. James
from No More Waiting 2199 said, "Wow, interesting to know Khaleef was a preacher. Awesome."
Zen likes Julie's hair, just to throw that out there. So, that's all I pretty much see right now coming in from people. You've made a lot of people hungry, and that's what it looks like so far.
Well, that's good because I won't have to answer any embarrassing questions. That's what that means. So maybe Julie will have to deal with the embarrassment now as she talks.
Changes by 40 says, "My husband joined me on becoming healthier, so I know that it matters when a husband joins his wife. So your wife must be very happy when you joined her." Is that something that helps you? You have your wife that is in agreement with your journey and is helping you along the journey and being on the journey with you. Does that make a huge difference on your journey?
Yeah, it definitely does because she I mean, she helps in a number of ways. I mean, one, she will cook healthy meals, but some people know that she deals with being ill sometimes, and so she isn't always able to cook and do things. But what she does when she has energy, or she'll use her last bit of energy to do whatever's necessary to give me the time that I need to do things that are healthy. Like she'll actually do, like even today, like she went out of her way to make sure that when I got home, all I had to do was come home, lift weights, and then prepare for this show because she knew how important it was for me. So she does things like that, which provide me with tons of support because it encourages me and lets me know that she's behind me 100%. And she's lifting weights with me as well, which everybody who watches me knows that weight training, and intense workouts, that's what I'm passionate about. So it's great to have her with me doing that.
And James wants to know, how long have you been on your journey?
November 15th, 2011 was my first weigh-in. November 12th, 2011 was my first workout. So I say probably about 15 months.
And Charlie TOC, who is Anthony, just wanted to let you know that he's enjoying watching the show. And it looks like Jenny, just a photo girl, is having a good time. And Brooke, Crazy Running Mom, just let me know that State lost by 2 points. So she knew. So that's okay. I can deal with that loss. No big deal.
Joelle Loves Horses says, Khaleef, did you have weight loss surgery? Why or why not?
No, I didn't. The answer, I actually made a video about this, so I know the answer is too long to answer here why I didn't, because the video was 17 minutes long, and I actually never put it on YouTube because it was so long, even though I put one up that was longer today. So I'll actually do a video. I'll do one within the next week. So now I'm committed to doing this. So within the next week, I will put out a video explaining why I chose not to have weight loss surgery.
And real quick, before we move on to Julie, it looks like Belinda got onto the show. She got on a little bit late. She wants to know what she's missed. You just missed the hellos. We're glad that you were here. And a little bit about our journeys. But the good thing about this is it's recorded. So after the live show, within, I believe, 10 minutes is what it is, Khaleef, right? 10 minutes?
I think so.
This show will air, and you'll be able to watch it in your feed just like anything else. So anytime you miss something, or you have to step away, or you go somewhere part of the way through the show, you can always come back and watch what you missed.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
All right. I am going to tell you guys a little bit about my journey, like how I got from day one to here, and then I'm going to talk about one aspect about my journey that I really haven't talked about, and I haven't really thought about it until a couple days ago. So, many of my subscribers will already know this information, but I just want to get everybody caught up on who I am, because some people may have never seen me before. I'm 29 years old, and I live in Northwest Indiana. I'm about an hour east of Chicago. I've been married to my husband, Todd, for 4 years next month. And when I married him, he came along with 2 little boys, Trent and Tate. And Trent is 12, and Tate is 9 now. And we just did science fair projects, and that was exhausting. I went to school for elementary education, and I taught in Gary, inner city school, for 1 year, and I taught 3 years in a private Christian school. And that's where I met my husband, and because his children go to the school, and his mom was my secretary. I taught until I got pregnant with my oldest daughter, and that is kind of the beginning of my journey. So first of all, I'm 5'2", so I'm short. I was 241 pounds at my heaviest, and that was on December 12th, 2010. That was the day that I had my daughter. And her name is Tessa. That day, I looked in her eyes, and I promised her that I would get healthy. I promised her I would change the way I was eating, and that I would be the best mom I could for her, and that I would be around for her. I had high blood pressure. I was on blood pressure medication during my whole pregnancy with her, and I had only gained 16 pounds during that pregnancy. So it's not like I had put on a bunch of pregnancy weight. It was not very much pregnancy weight at all. So I wanted to tell you guys that I have not had any weight loss surgery. I keep track of what I'm eating, and I exercise regularly, depending on the day and what my girls will allow. Which brings me to my next point, that I had Tessa, and I started my journey then. And I had lost 66 pounds from December 2010 until around August, and I had put about 10 pounds on over the summer. And so I was 185 when I got pregnant with Taylin. Taylin is my second daughter, and she is I had gained weight during my pregnancy with her, and I was 217 pounds the day that I had her. So it was kind of like I was in the middle of my journey, going strong, get pregnant, I had to start my journey all over again. And that, but I didn't start back at square one, and I never let that really discourage me. I just knew that, you know, I've done it before, and I knew exactly what I had to do. So I got right back on track, and I had done YouTube videos with my pregnancy with Taylin. So I liked it. I liked the community that was there. I had a whopping 33 subscribers, and throughout the whole 9 months. So people that are pregnant must not like to hear me talk. But the weight loss community has embraced me, and I could not be happier. I'm so glad that I decided to do weight loss vlogs. I love doing the pregnancy videos, so I said, you know, I'm going to document my weight loss journey and get support that way. So I had my daughter on May 8th, 2012, and I started my journey, my second leg of my journey, at 217 pounds. Taylin is 9 months old, and I currently weigh 155.2 pounds, and I've lost a total of 85.8 pounds since I started my journey 2 years ago. I'm 15.2 pounds away from my goal of 140 pounds, and I'm a runner, which is something I never would have ever dreamed that I would be. And if you watch my videos, you know that anytime I talk about running, I have this big cheesy grin on my face because it's something I completely am in love with, and it makes me so happy. And I'll kind of talk about that in a little bit, but that's kind of my journey. I don't know, are there any questions in the feed about my journey part?
There is some questions coming in. Dylan asked, you were a teacher, so I don't know if you might have missed when you said that, but maybe if you just want to tell him again what you taught and that kind of a thing, just to answer that question for him. Okay, I taught 3rd grade in the inner city school, and then I taught 7th and 8th grade. It was a combined class, and I had anywhere from I had 6 students one year all the way to 11 students, and I would teach all the subjects during that year. Okay, and Belinda asked, this was a question for everybody, but since you're speaking, we'll put it out to you, because this will come out as the show goes on over the weeks. Do you support weight loss surgery? I have not had weight loss surgery. I never thought about having weight loss surgery. It was never an option for me, but I completely support the weight loss surgery community. I think everyone has to do what's right for them. And for me, it wasn't the right thing for me. But for someone else that it might be their choice of what they choose to do, I completely support them, and because we're all trying to get healthy. And you know, just like I support people that eat low carb or anything else, we all have the goal of getting healthy. So I completely support it. Also, Damien just wanted to say that you look great, your hair and all that.
Thanks.
And also, Alicia asked, how do you find motivation of family and household? They try to understand the situation and support you, but yet then they turn around and do things to enable you in the process of the whole thing, because Like for you guys, it's a little bit different than for me because I'm single and I live alone. So I don't have children or a spouse or anything like that, or a partner that I have to, you know, try to work around or whatever the case might be.
It's very hard. My side of the family is very supportive of my weight loss journey. I do have some people on my husband's side of the family that they love me and they're wonderful people, but they don't always come off as the most supportive. And I do buy normal groceries for my family, and I cook normal food for them because the kids are picky, and I try to like introduce them to healthy options. But a lot of times I'm surrounded by junk. I'm surrounded by people eating massive amounts of food, and it is hard. It is so hard. But I get so much motivation from videos, from all of you. I don't have a lot of friends, and I'm home with my babies all day long alone, so I depend on you guys. That's why, I mean, I spend a lot of time watching videos and commenting, and I try to make videos because that's what motivates me. That's what keeps me accountable. That's what helps me stay on track. Because honestly, I'm in a totally different place on the second leg of my journey with YouTube videos than I was on my first leg. And I look back and I think if I had kept going down that way, I know I would have gained all my weight back. But I'm confident now that this is all for good. And I attribute it to all of you and your stories and sharing and all your motivation. Because we have downs and ups and downs. And when someone else is doing great, I'm usually doing bad. And then vice versa. We just are there to lift each other up, and it's so helpful.
It looks like there's some people commenting that they got onto the show a little bit late and stuff. Once again, just a reminder to everybody that after the live show airs, about 10 minutes after, the whole hour show will come up in your feed. You'll be able to watch the parts you've missed, fast forward, that kind of a thing. But we're so excited that people are watching the show and joining us. I wanted to go ahead and just share a little bit about my journey and where I'm at. I started my Keeping It Real journey on April 23rd, 2012, after sitting on my bed the night before crying because everything was becoming a chore, even breathing at times, sitting in a chair, and all of a sudden I'd go like that to catch my breath, yet I was doing nothing to put me in that situation. I am a food addict. I do have it under control as of now, but I am a person that believes that that the addiction is always there, and that the best I can do is learn to manage and control it if I should have it. Anyone that's followed me knows that I had a binging episode on the 1st and 2nd of January that I consumed, I believe it was right around 35,000 calories in those 2 days. And it was a terrible binge. That was a video I made called The Heartache of a Food Addict. And I don't have shame in that. It is something that I am learning to control. When I'm doing it, there is shame to it. But it's hard to explain what goes on because I don't plan a binge. It just happens. And what I'm trying to do now is learn from other people within this community. That's a great thing about this show, is I think it's really going to help me to be able to learn so much so that if a binge happens, that I can control that binge and try to manage it and get myself out of it. One thing I battled with for a long time was fast food. I was spending up to $250 a week on fast food. That's $1,000 a month, basically eating all of my meals out of the home, maybe having one occasionally here or there. My nephew Zachary lives with me for right now, and there was times where I would say, let's go get something to eat, let's go get something to eat, to where it was even a couple times a day. So that is something I still eat out, but it's very rare now. I may eat out a couple times a week, if that, but I usually eat out once a week. You know, this is about, in my opinion, changing our mind to change our life. When my journey first started, my saying was, if we can change our mind, we can change our body, which is true, because for a lot of us, there's a lot of things we want to change, but a lot of it in the beginning, and not for everybody. Once again, each of us are saying our opinions, how we feel about things. So for me, It was about the image when I started, and I wanted to look a certain way, and I wanted to feel better. So, but that's changed, and that changed to a good friend of mine, Annie, who helped me come out of that binge on the first and second. And the thing with that was I realized that at that point it wasn't about the body, it was about the life. It was about changing my life. And that's what I'm really working on and heading towards. The weird thing is, today, as of this morning, I have lost 85.5 pounds. And this coming Saturday, the 23rd, will be my 10-month birthday, or whatever you want to say, since I started my journey on April 23rd of 2012. What started this was in December of 2011, I was on a plane from Arizona to Detroit, where I was then going to catch a puddle jumper from Detroit to Lansing, which is close to where my family lives. When Rob got on that plane up in Detroit to head to Michigan, the seatbelt did not fit. So my choice was to either ask the flight attendant for an extender, which, keeping in mind, I'm on a puddle jumper. So this is a small plane that's in the air 20 to 40 minutes, and then they're back down on the ground. Real small plane. I didn't know if they'd have it on the plane, and I was embarrassed. I was sitting in the back. So my choice was either ask the flight attendant and maybe have her come through the aisle holding it and saying, you know, I have this, or, you know, here's your extender or whatever, or taking the seatbelt and tucking it into, honestly, basically my fat roll, and just making it look like I had a seatbelt on. So what I decided to do was tuck it in and not ask for the extender. But that's where all this came about. The weird thing is it took from that time in the middle of December to April for me to finally do something about it. You know, I was tired of standing up to do the dishes and not my back hurting, and I never really had problems with my knees, but it was just all the aches and just getting up in the morning and feeling tired and run down. So that was one of the reasons that I had decided to do it. This is very simple for me now as I go through the journey 10 months in. The journey is not simple. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is simple is, for me, this is about, at goal, having great health and great happiness. I feel if I have those two things, I have the whole package and I have everything else there. So that's what's important for me. One of the biggest things to my success so far in this is obviously my dedication within me to my life, to my health, to my happiness, this YouTube community, countless friends that I have made, and unwillingly at times have held me accountable more than you would ever know. I also recently started a Mind Mentor program where I pick somebody each week that is on my mind. I do text or email with those people, but it's just someone that in my mind holds me accountable. And that is turning out to be an awesome tool for me, and I am glad that I have that. A couple more things. What started out for me on this journey was, as I was sitting in my room the days before I actually did my start date of the 23rd, I'm searching about weight loss stuff on YouTube because I'd never seen anything in the community. And I came across a wonderful lady from Canada named Angie. And I watched her videos, and hers was the first videos that I had ever seen. And I thought, if she can do this, I can do this. And so that's what got me started and has kept me motivated within this journey. I do have a couple frustrations with the journey, frustrations, and that is I feel like sometimes I'm not able to watch every video that comes up in my feed, even though I will say I have pretty much been able to stay on top of it and replying to every comment that's left and stuff. It became stressful, so I made a point to let everybody know, if you leave a comment and ask a question, I'm definitely going to answer, and if you and if there's not a question in there, then, you know, once in a while I'm going to throw you a thank you or whatever. But it was just a way for me to make it a little bit easier within the community. And as far as like any disappointments or anything would go within the journey, I really don't have any, because it's a learning experience. And for me, there is ups and downs, goods and bads, and I take them all in, from the bads I learned, from the goods I learned, and it's what makes my journey golden at the end. That's what I believe. I have no regrets in this journey, I believe that regrets do nothing but hold us back from moving forward. So that's what I'm trying to do, is just push forward, support everybody, and have them support me. So that's obviously a little bit about my journey and what I'm about.
All right, Rob, we have some questions. Well, okay. First, Belinda wants to know, where's Little Blue?
Little Blue, I don't have Little Blue here. I have a coffee mug, which I absolutely love. And on the other side, it says Equity Title, but since they didn't give me no money to do advertising for them, you guys won't be seeing that. You're going to see this side. Little Blue, unfortunately, was able to come to a contractual agreement with the show. He wanted in the millions, so Little Blue will not be on the show as a regular basis, but might make an appearance here or there. But you'll always be able to see Little Blue over on my channel, so Little Blue will be on my channel, and I'll just have my mug here for this show.
Okay, and Brooke, Crazy Running Mom, this actually was a question for all of us. What will become of your channel when you enter maintenance?
My goal for my channel is to continue to give back to this community. I'm not going anywhere. I will not turn, and I'm not saying people that have left. Everybody's different. I understand you get busy and sometimes you have to move on. I'm not a move on kind of person, so I'm going to say it that way to be respectful and keep it real, but I'm not going anywhere, you guys. I don't care what phase I'm in when I'm in maintenance. I think, being honest, I think it will be harder for people that are starting on a journey to relate necessarily with me as much as the people who have seen me at 322 pounds and are now sitting here seeing me today at 336.5 pounds. So I do think that will be hard for some people to relate to me, but I'm still going to be on here, and I'm still going to be pushing forward at all costs, because I am not leaving this community.
All right. We now have Lillian0813 asked, how can one tell if you or someone you love has habits of a food addict?
One thing I want to make perfectly clear to everybody from myself is, and I know you know this and I'm not avoiding the question and I'll answer it, but again, this is my opinion. I have no educational background as a physician, as a dietitian, as a nutritionist, so anything that I say is a matter of my opinion, and if you think what I say can work within your journey and it's something medically related or having to do with eating or something to that effect, you really need to consult your family physician. I would never want to lead somebody in the wrong direction with that. Having said that, I believe there are several different food addictions and ways to tell. I know someone I was talking with today had said they plan binges or think about them. Mine doesn't happen that way. The way that I know is because I'm eating massive amounts of food which shouldn't be consumed by any human, I don't care what size they are, at one time. But I think there's things you can watch for. When I was younger, I was bulimic, and that came from a situation of when I played tennis, and the tennis coach, when I was trying to take over the #1 spot, I made a comment as I want to beat Mike, and he goes, this is the thing, you can beat Mike and take that #1 spot, but you have to get control of the serve because he's smaller than you, so he can move faster than you. The only words that I heard from my coach, who was phenomenal, was he's smaller than you. And then I went on this obsession with losing weight and went from 160 pounds to 132 pounds, which for me is ungodly skinny. Let's just say when all was said and done, guys, I ended up not playing tennis anymore. I dropped out of the top 25, and it was a disaster. And I just kept saying, if I can get the weight off, I can get back up to first. Not the case. So that's where it's at. I hope I answered that question. If I didn't, I am sorry. Welcome back, Julie.
I know you missed me.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm getting a new computer next week.
Good. Hopefully you'll get it before next Tuesday.
I will.
Well, I would say to that question, first I will give the same kind of disclaimer that Rob gave regarding not being a psychologist, psychiatrist, or medical professional of any kind. I actually had a counselor a few weeks ago tell me that the way you can tell if someone has an addiction is if they pattern or organize their life around the thing they're addicted to. So if they're making changes to their schedule, if they're moving things around, if they're avoiding going certain places just so they can, take part in whatever they're addicted to or whatever the substance is, then that's a good sign, a good indication that there may be an addiction there. So, that's at least one of the things that goes into my mind when I hear about that, or I think about someone having an addiction. There's another question, and I think this question is for everyone. It's from 999 Nettie. I have been on my journey for almost 2 years, and I'm down to my last 15 pounds. I am much older than all of you, but am finding it hard to lose even ounces anymore. How do you stay motivated? So, Julie, since you were gone for a while and you only have 15 pounds left to your goal, how do you stay motivated?
Oh, these last 15 pounds are not easy, and I can tell you that right now. It's taken me forever to lose the last couple pounds that I have lost. What I did is I try to set small goals. So right now I have my eyes on 5 more pounds. That's going to be a really special day because I'll be able to order my I Kept It Real bracelet that Rob Reno will be sending me. But I have to just stay focused on my goal, and I just buckle down on what I eat and move when I need to move. I even watch old videos of mine and try to remember why I started my journey and just things like that. I look at pictures of, that keeps me going. You have to find what's going to keep you going.
I agree. I would say, I'm not close to 15 pounds. I'm not even sure what my weight goal is, probably another 40 pounds. But I think for me, staying motivated is part of what Julie said, just keeping small goals. I started saying at the end of most of my videos now, it doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. And just to kind of remind myself and to remind everyone to look at these small milestones. If you're a runner, for instance, and you can't run a full mile without taking a walking break, remember that when you're able to run, even if it's a very slow jog, if you can go a mile straight, that's an accomplishment. That mile did not all of a sudden become shorter. You didn't get a chariot to drive you that mile. You did something you weren't able to do before. And I think if you keep just looking at making even the smallest amount of progress in any area of your journey, you're going to stay motivated with it. There was a question that came a little while ago to me. It was, I guess, right when I ended, and I just wanted to address it. I know we're kind of running low on times. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget it. It was from Charlie, TOC. And looks like that he lives about 15 minutes or so from me. He says, I've gained 40 pounds since I hurt my neck at one of the commands I was stationed at. What is recommended for hurt veterans who can't work out regularly? So what I would say first is just walk. It's hard for me to imagine myself saying that, how much I love working out like crazy, but walk. I don't know the extent of the neck injury, if you can handle any weight or anything, walking with, some dumbbells or a vest or something like that, if you're able to. If not, just go for a brisk walk. Anything that will raise your heart rate will help you to burn calories and lose weight. And then you have to be very strict with your diet. That's where the battle is going to be won. No matter how much exercise you can do, you can't outwork a bad diet. But even more so, if you can't really do much, if all you can do is walk, you have to really be strict with your calories and make sure that you figure out what your macronutrient profile should be, and just be strict and stick to that. And I think you'll see a lot of results with that. There are a lot of people who lose weight and never work out at all. So and Julie can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were in a situation where you couldn't work out that much in the beginning of your journey. Right?
Yeah, I was going to add into that. When I first had my daughter, and even at the beginning of this second leg of my journey, I had a 9-month-old and a 17-month-old, and I did not have time to work out. I didn't know what I was going to do. I threw the girls in the double stroller, and I walked. I'd walk and walk and walk. At the very beginning of my journey, that's what I did. I walked. My big workout days were the days I got out and mowed the lawn. That was my big workout. I mean, it sounds silly, but find anything you can do to walk. And I always say, and everyone knows this that watches my channel, do what you can do. Not everyone can go out and work out for hours a day. Not everyone can eat only really good foods. I've been in situations financially where I had to go and I had to eat processed foods, but I just limited how much I was eating. I ate it all in moderation. Did I want to eat all that food that wasn't great for my body? No, but I had to. You have to do what you can do. So if I'm presented in a situation where I'm stuck inside and I can't get out, then I just have to do what I can do. One night I remember I was going up and down my stairs over and over again, and I made 50 trips up my stairs. That was my workout for the day, because the baby wouldn't let me put her down, so I tied her in my carrier, and I'm going up and down the stairs wearing the baby. I did my walking videos wearing the baby. I mean, you just have to do what you can do. So find out something that you can do, but really buckle down with food. I was going to say, if you can't work out, food is key.
Yeah, thank you. And we've now gotten to the end of the time that we've allotted for questions initially, but we have a few options to be able to answer the questions, so we want to make sure that we get to everyone. Some of them will be a text reply, either from the Renew channel or our own personal channel, depending on how you ask the question. Some we may do video responses for, and some we may actually answer within the next weeks coming up. So no question will be ignored, even if we weren't able to get to it tonight. But we want to take a little bit of time to let you guys know what you can expect in the future for the Renew show. So next week, which is February 26th, at the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have our first show with a guest. Our guest is going to be Jamoki from Jamoki Fitness TV, and he is someone who was once in his life over 600 pounds. We're going to have a link to his channel and the others, so that you can follow him, you can check out his journey, and be prepared with questions. And the week after that, Rob is going to tell you what we have in store.
Coming March 5th is going to be Jenny Barnett, who is just a photo girl. So many of us know her and adore her and love her. So mark your calendars for March 5th, because Jenny Barnett will be appearing on the show, and it's going to be absolutely amazing.
March 12th, we will have Prairie Princess 1. Tina Krim will be with us, and I'm so excited. She's my best friend, and I can't wait to have her on the show. She started her journey out at 350 pounds, and she's lost 135 pounds just through hard work, sweat in the gym, kettlebells, and she is just an incredibly strong woman, and anyone that watches her channel knows that. So we can't wait to have her.
And the following week, which is March 19th, we're going to have Crazy Running Mom, Brooke. And anyone who follows her knows that she brings so much energy and excitement to it. Her title fits. She is a mom, she is crazy, and she loves to run. And so hopefully you guys will get a lot of inspiration out of her as well. We're telling you who the future guests are. There's going to be a link below within the next half hour that's going to take you to our site where you can see everyone who's listed and go check out their channels. And so you can prepare your questions. If you have any questions, you can send an email to renewshow@gmail.com. So renewshow@gmail.com. If you have any questions for any of the hosts, or actually any questions that you want us to ask the guests, that way you won't be caught up in a slew of questions while the show is going on. You can actually ask them ahead of time. So make sure you send us any questions, comments, suggestions for the show, any feedback that you have. And also, if you go to renewshow.com, you'll be able to check out all of our social media links and follow us there and find out any information on the show. So,
if you'd like to be a guest on the show, let us know. We're always looking for people, and we want people from all different walks of life and all different journeys.
right, exactly. And the same thing applies. Send an email, let us know what you want to talk about, and then someone will be in contact with you and start the process. My wife told me I move my hands too much when I talk. I look like a kung fu master or something like that, so maybe I'll try to calm that down a little. But if you have any feedback, anything, just let us know. All right, guys, it's time for us to say goodbye. I want to thank you for joining us, putting up with us, and supporting us.
Thank you so
Bye,
much,
guys.
everybody. Awesome.
Bye.
Thanks.